Hello, good morning, everyone. We want to welcome you to Pillow Talk Lounge. We're your host. I'm James Greene, and this is my lovely wife, Cynthia Greene.
Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing? Wow, it's Saturday morning. Gosh, you guys, it's going to be a beautiful day here today. 80 degrees. I was asking James, what are we doing today? He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, what do you want to do? I don't know. He's already been out in the yard. I'm in here cleaning the house and cooking breakfast. So, got a question for y'all. Y'all know, I like to know, what are y'all eating for breakfast this morning? Oh, honey, we ain't even live. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, we are. Mm-hmm. Oh, we're not. Yes, we are. It says live. I don't know why it's saying go live and we're live. I am not sure if we were already live or we just went live. But either way.
Anyway, come on now.
Here,
you know how it is sometimes
I don't
when
know
it's
why
live.
Go live popped up and I thought we were already live. So hopefully you guys heard the intro song and all that. But so what are you guys eating for breakfast this morning? We switched up a little bit today, just a tiny little bit. We had scrapple, turkey scrapple. Mm-hmm. Is it turkey scrapple? Turkey scrapple, and fried eggs and grits.
And I know people maybe on the West Coast or maybe in the South don't know what scrapple is. They may know what liver pudding is. I'm not sure. I'm from the Northeast, and we have scrapple.
So, y'all, James and I had this debate for a long time, and my mother solved our debate, our issue, okay? So he's been saying he grew up eating scrapple. I grew up eating liver pudding, and I kept telling him they're
not the same thing.
So my mother and I were in the grocery store in North Carolina, and she showed me, she said, Cynthia, see, look, that packet says liver pudding, and it says scrapple. I said, oh my God, let me take a picture.
I'm sorry, they're not the same thing.
So
and
I took a picture
I still don't believe
and sent it to James. It's the same junk inside. It's the same junk. Liver pudding's just in a tube, and it has the same little gray matter inside, and scrapple is in a big square chunk, and you slice it, and oh my gosh, you cook it the same way. But anyway, that was a debate for us for years, you guys. And my mother literally saw it in the grocery store.
It didn't solve my satisfaction that they're the same, because I still don't believe they're the same.
The only difference is I've never seen turkey liver pudding.
See?
Only pork. So
they're not the same thing. So how's everyone doing today? We want to welcome you. And, it's going to be a nice show. We're going to talk about some things that we have upcoming and get into it, because, we think of couples, how confident are you as a couple? A lot of people probably say, well, I'm real confident, but what makes you a confident couple?
Right. And what makes you a stronger we?
Right.
Because that's what we're really talking about.
Because there's a lot of times when we'll talk to couples and, they seem to focus on, I have to do this to make the relationship work, or he has to do that, or what do we have to do to make the relationship work? What do we have to do to make the relationship stronger? And that's some of the things we like to talk about the things you could do together as a team to become a stronger we. Because when you become a stronger we, you actually increase yourselves as a couple. You actually kind of, when you increase the stronger we, when you go to a stronger we, it allows you to grow together as a couple and become a stronger couple, so you can accomplish more things as a couple and not really as an individual.
Right. So you guys, I want to make sure we remind you guys to hit the share button. We want you to hit the share button, because what we're talking about, there is a couple out there that really needs to hear this, and it may be someone that you know. So go ahead and let them know we're live. Share it to all your social media sites, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of that. Share it, because there's somebody that's on your friend list that right now are struggling in their relationship and they need a little help.
Because I was going to say, all you can do is listen to their conversation. If they talk more about I and less about we, then you can share this video with them.
And also, if they've been sharing with you, or you've seen that they're arguing all the time, they're struggling in their relationship, they're having a hard time communicating, getting along, being on the same page. This is going to help them.
Right.
So just make sure you're stop what you're doing right now and just hit the share button. Even if you're watching the replay, hit the share button. So all this month, our theme was love, marriage, and business, right? And we've been talking to you about, how to be on the same page and support one another, whether it's in love, whether it's in life, whether it's in your marriage, whether it's in business, how to get on the same page. So talking about this confident couple is going to help you also.
Right.
I want to share with you the definition of confidence. Okay. Because when I looked up confident, it says having confidence. So let's just talk.
Well, you have to have confidence to be confident,
Absolutely.
Because I know Cynthia used to say sometimes you seem cocky. I said it's not cockiness, it's confidence. And my mother always says, if you don't have confidence in yourself, no one will have confidence in you. So you have to be confident to have confidence in yourself and your abilities.
Yeah. I always thought he was cocky. Still do. Cocky. All right, so let's talk about what confidence is. It says the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something. It's firm trust. So let's just pause right there on the rely on someone or something. So can you rely on your spouse?
Right.
Can you rely on them to be able to talk to them about anything? Right. Can you rely on them to share your heart? Can you rely on them to help you with something that you need help with?
Can you rely on them to have your back in everything that you do?
That's a good one.
Because a lot of times, couples may feel that, well, I don't feel that my partner has my back. So it's part of that confidence is that trust factor that person has your back.
Right. And some synonyms are trust, belief, faith, and credits.
Right.
So credits means believing in somebody. Right. Are you credible?
And think of belief for a minute. I believe that this person is going to be by my side no matter what I do. No matter if, there's times when, just think for a minute, you could be in a marriage, in a relationship, and the person may get sick. The person may lose their job, but they still have a belief that you're going to be by them through them hard times. That's that confidence piece. Because if you don't believe they're going to be by you, say you get sick, you lose your job, things happen. Life happens. Sometimes tragic things happen, and then the person may leave your side.
Yes.
And you believe that they would, and that belief part is gone because they didn't. But having confidence allows you to believe that no matter through thick and thin, no matter through ups and downs, no matter what happens, I believe and I have faith and I trust that my partner is going to be by my side.
Oh, that's so good. I want to read this definition of confidence because this definitely reminds me of my husband. So it says, a feeling of self-assurance.
Okay, stop right there. Stop right there. A feeling of self-assurance. Are you sure of yourself? That's how I'm going to break it down. Are you sure of yourself? Are you sure of your abilities? Are you sure you can accomplish the things that you set out to do? That's confidence in yourself. Because, for example, men, talk to the men now, or ladies, if you're sure that woman, for the men, if that woman is going to be your wife, that's how confident you are. So I'm going to go up to her. I'm going to talk to her because I'm sure I'm going to make this woman my wife. That's confidence in yourself. You go up to him, you talk to him, you start dating, you end up getting married. See, that's confidence in yourself. You're sure of that ability that you can go up to that woman, that woman's going to be your wife.
Okay, if that's what you want to call it. I call it cockiness. Okay, so let me finish my definition, y'all. A feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities.
The ability.
Okay. So my husband is so confident
in his ability.
Whatever he think he can do, boy, he confidence of I don't know what. But he's also thinking. So sometimes his thinking comes across as cocky because he just know he's right. He just know he knows the answer to something. He just know he knows how to do something, and it's not always true. So I'm like, there you go with that little cocky attitude. Sometimes a cocky attitude is not confidence. I'm just saying. What is
it? It's having faith in your ability.
Okay. But sometimes your ability don't match with that faith. And I'm just talking about my husband, okay?
You know, I remember we were playing football, right? And I was a punter and a defensive back. I mean, not a punter, a wide receiver and a defensive back. So they need somebody to punt. I had confidence in my ability to punt the ball. And trust me, y'all, I am not a punter. But I always said to myself, if you do it very well the very first time, people will have confidence in you that you can continue to do it. You hear what I'm saying? This is where that confidence comes in. If people have confidence in you, in your ability, but you have to have it in yourself first. So I said, I can punt. No, and I ain't no punter. I didn't even know if I could do it. But that very first punt was a booming punt, and it went way down the field. So what happened there? That was me having confidence in myself. And now the team said, you know what? You could punt every time. I think the very next one might have went a yard. It went straight up in the air and bounced right on the ground. But I had confidence in myself that I could do it. And they had confidence in me after the first one that I could do it. See, that's right there, the ability, having confidence in your ability as a person. And that's the same way in a relationship. If you're in a relationship or in a marriage and you say, babe, let's give you an example. My wife had confidence in me that I could put up crown molding. I've never done it.
Okay, I did have confidence.
See, she had confidence in me. She trusted me in my ability to do it. Okay, I've never done it. It's not easy. And let me just say this. She was probably looking at some DIY, some home improvement, DIY, whatever it is, and say, oh, they could do that. You could do that. I'm not a professional, but I ended up doing it. Correct?
You did and did a good job.
And I ended up doing I put it around the door frame. If you didn't
look real close, he did a good job.
But I put it around the door frame. I put up a chair railing, and she had confidence in me, in my ability that I could accomplish that task.
That's true. That's true. I did. Okay. So let's just talk about 6 ways that you can create a stronger we-ness and become a more confident couple, right? So one of my things is sharing secrets with one another. I believe, well, some people don't think you should share everything with your spouse, but I'm sorry. I do believe
that's something we believe.
Yes,
we believe that you shouldn't keep secrets from your spouse, because when you talk about a stronger we, you talk about this is something that you're in it together. So why not share it with each other? Because if you're holding back information and it comes out later, that person may not have that trust. And that's what confidence is, that trust and that belief in you. Why should I believe you when you held back information before?
Right. So I was with some lady friends and we were talking about marriage or relationships or something. And we were sharing things our mother taught us. And I remember saying, my mother taught me, you should always keep something on the side, just in case. Like, don't let your husband know you got a little money tucked away in the bank. And my friends like, my mother told me that too. I said, well, did you do it? They're like, no, because my husband found out I got a secret bank account. It's going to be on.
Right.
So then they're not going to trust you in other things.
And what else would that do? That would cause the husband to start hiding money also.
There you go.
Oh, so if you got something personal on the side, and I've been sharing everything with you, and I trusted you, and you kept that from me, now maybe I should start doing it. Mm-hmm. And that's what definitely doesn't make a confident couple, because now you don't trust each other, you don't believe in each other, because you're both hiding things from each other.
That's right. So in order to be a stronger we-ness in your love, in your life, and in your business, you have to learn to trust one another.
Totally.
And share with one another. Just like in business, if you got a business and you're over here taking funds out the account and doing things with it that you shouldn't be doing, your partner's not going to want to be partners with you anymore. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're not doing the paperwork like you know it's supposed to be doing, and then, I'm sorry, the IRS come and audit everything, and this is missing and that is missing, then your partner's going to be upset.
Right.
So we got to be honest and share everything in love, life, and business, so that we can grow to be a stronger we, have a healthy relationship, and strive to do better in how we are communicating these things.
Because the last thing you want to do is say not share, which seems like you're hiding something, which caused division in the marriage because now you're keeping secrets. That's why we always emphasize share everything. Because once you start not sharing and keeping secrets, that's going to cause the other person to stop sharing and keeping secrets. And now you won't be on the same page. Your communication won't always be there because you're keeping things from each other.
Right. And so one of the other things is, you guys have heard us talk about this all the time. Another way to become a strong we is to cultivate common interests, right? So let's just say I have something that I'm interested in that I like to do, but James necessarily isn't, or he may have something he's interested in and I may not be interested in it. But what can we find to do together that we both might enjoy doing? So, okay, one of ours is walking. That's something that we both like to do. And then honestly, I used to didn't like golf. I've been going to golfing since I was a child because I had a cousin who golfed. And when my son was a child, I used to take him golfing. And the whole family used to go golfing, but I never liked it. I really just drove the golf cart.
Right.
But what we did to gain a common interest, we both took golf lessons. We took a golf, what do they call it? A golf club? A golf lesson. Mm-hmm. It's a golf class, but they have another name for it. Clinic. We went to a golf clinic. And now that's a common interest of ours.
Or like I always say, and this is my line, sacrifice leads to success. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you may have to make a sacrifice and do what she wants to do. And then she'll make a sacrifice and do what maybe you want to do. But you never know. When you start doing these things together, it might become a common interest that both of you like to do because you're doing it together. And see, that's how you become a stronger we. That's how you become a confident couple, because now you're doing things together. You're doing things that you may not care to do, but it's more fun and you like doing it with your spouse.
Right. And then also it helps you to spend quality time together. Because I'm sorry, y'all, that's my love. I'm not sorry. That's my love language is quality time. So anytime I can find something to do that he likes to do, or we both like to do, or we're doing something together, then I'm happy because, we're spending quality time together and I'm getting my needs met.
Right. And let me say that it's not all about you. You can't always want to do the things that you want to do and never do the things that she wants to do. It's not all about you. It's about the two of you. That's why we always talk about a stronger we, doing things together, making that sacrifice. Okay, baby, like one weekend we'll do what you want to do. The next weekend we may do what I want to do. It's not always about what you want to do, what you want to do, what you want to do, because then the other person can become resentful and be like, hey, we always do what that person wants to do and they never do what I want to do.
Right, because you know what? Also, you need to know what your spouse is interested in. Because sometimes couples don't talk about that. And a lot of times people get married and as time go over, they go on. They stop doing the things that they like to do. And when we do like our vision and goals party with couples and they start writing down the goals, their personal goals, their joint goals, and you look over the paper and say, I didn't know you wanted to do that. So because you never asked me, we never talked about it. And so you become sometimes you be like, oh, okay, So then you're proud of your spouse. You get a little bit.
And just think for a minute. As time goes on, people evolve. We always talk about evolution. People change. Your ideas change. The things you like to do change. The things you like to eat changes. But that's why you always have to communicate to talk about those changes. Like, baby, for example, I didn't used to like to eat Brussels sprouts, but I like to eat them now.
Yeah. And y'all, it's summertime. Make you what they call a bucket list. Make you a list of things that you want to do this summer. Just focus on the summer for right now. Like I forgot about going strawberry picking yesterday. I'm sorry, I digress. But like I got some things that I want to do this summer, right? And so Jane and I, we've been talking about some things we want to do.
And I don't want to pick strawberry. I don't want to go.
But I want him to go with me because to me that's quality. He just said, y'all, didn't he just say sacrifice leads to success?
But we've done it. Haven't I went with you before to do it?
Yes.
That doesn't mean I have to do it every single time.
No, you don't.
I went before. Let me tell you something. I went with her to pick strawberries. We went to pick grapes.
Wait a minute.
And that's not things I really want to do.
Wait a minute. Hold on. We didn't go just to do those things. We went to the farm to get groceries and to see what they had. It just happened to be grape picking season. And then another time it just happened to be strawberry picking season. I didn't even know that they grew strawberries. So don't even try to say you went with me to do a certain task. See, he twisted things around, y'all. But anyway, I just like the idea of getting out and doing something in the fresh air, doing something different. Actually, I'm gonna see if Catherine wants to go, but the end of May is actually the end of strawberry picking season. So I don't want to miss that season, that opportunity. And it's so much cheaper picking your own and getting them on the farm versus going in the grocery store and paying all that money. And so for me, I wash my strawberries and freeze them and put them in the freezer. Then when we get ready to make like our fruit punches and juices for the summer, or if I want infused water, I take the cup of frosted strawberries out and drop them in my drink, y'all. That's just a tip for y'all.
But she said it earlier, right? If the two of you both make a list on the things you want to do and share your list, you never know. You may both have items on the list that you both want to do. So you could do those things together. Then you could probably alternate. Okay, one time we'll do what's on your list. Next time we'll do what's on my list. This allows you to come together, come into agreement, grow together, and do things that both of you are doing together to make that stronger, confident couple.
And y'all, don't let this nice weather pass you by without doing something fun, different, unique this summer. And at the same time, as we're talking about cultivate common interest and doing quality things together, it is still important, which is number 3, is to pursue your own personal passions. Like for me, I love to read, you guys. And I have put away reading for a very long time. For a long time, I had not sat down with a book and just relaxed around the house. But lately, this year, I've been reading books. I love to go outside and lay in the hammock out on the back porch and read a good book. Sit out on the back porch in a chair and read a good book. My daughter likes to take a blanket and go out in the woods, which, we have plenty of them right by our house. And she'll take a blanket and go sit in the woods and read a book. Now, me personally, I'm not going in the woods by myself.
But what she's trying to say is that if you may have some individual things you like to do, don't discard them. Still try to do them, because like we said previously, that if you do things together, maybe make that sacrifice, do what she wants to do, then do what he wants to do, take turns. Then you can pick a time with, okay, since we did what you wanted to do, since you did what I wanted to do, now why don't we do what we want to do individually?
Right.
Like if I want to go to the gym and she said, okay, I want to go read a book. You can go read a book. I can go to the gym.
Right.
And then we'll come back together afterwards.
Right. Because everybody needs a little bit of alone time. And sometimes
to recharge.
Right. And you don't have to do everything that your spouse does, because like James loves to watch sports. And today he wants to watch a track meet. Okay, I don't mind watching a track meet with him sometimes, but today I just may not feel like watching no sports, no track meet. So guess what? I'll grab my book, and head out on the back porch and have me some alone time.
But just like now, when earlier when we first got on, she was cleaning. She said she wants to mop the floors, clean up, and during that time I could be out in the yard, because I want to trim the trees and do some things out in the yard.
But at the same time, he wants to go to Lowe's to pick up some sod. And
not sod.
Oh, what is? I mean, not sod, topsoil. And I want to buy some little mini flowers that I want to put in the yard. So I said, don't go without me. So
there you go. Something we're going to do that together.
Exactly. So that's why this communication piece is so important. Because he could have been outside working in the yard, hopped in the car, went to Lowe's, and then I'm like, Dad, why didn't you let me know I was going to Lowe's?
Because she wanted to go to Lowe's and get some flowers for the flower bed,
to put in the yard. Right. Yeah. So you need to make sure that this communication piece is there. I'll tell you guys about that next. But number 4 is show each other support. All right. So we talked about you doing things together. We talked about you doing things apart. But let's just talk about when you are doing things apart, or you have a great idea, and sometimes our spouse can be the first one to shoot us down and think our ideas are crazy. What we want to do is just, doesn't make sense.
Right.
But we need to learn to support our spouse, because, when we were listening to our pastors last night, we had our monthly marriage enrichment workshop last night, and our pastors were the speakers, and they were talking about, oh gosh, I lost my train of thought, babe. Like allow your spouse to fail. So if your spouse has a great idea and you don't think it's a great idea, you know what? Allow them to try. Right. Don't try to like my Pastor Tony was saying. It sometimes that you're starting to control your spouse. Right. You're being selfish and trying to tell them what they can and can't do.
And that's something.
Sometimes you need to just let them be.
And that's something Sid and I always talk about, how you should be your spouse's biggest cheerleader. I mean, even though you may think the idea is not good, don't discard it. Just still cheer them on. They may fail. They may discover it's not a good idea, but at least they know you had their back. And that's what we talked about in number 1. We talked about, we were reading the definition of confidence, that trust and that belief in the ability, So if they believe they could do it, back them, trust them, support them, have faith in them. If it fails, fine. You were still there for them. And they believed in you because you had their back. And that's what we're talking about with this confident couple, with having confidence, to believe that my spouse has my back in all that I do. Even though I may fail at it, she still had my back. Even though it may be a dumb idea, she still believed in me. Even though I may realize it's a dumb idea, at least I know she believed in me and she had faith in me.
But you guys, the key is to show each other support in the good times and in the bad times. So if you know your spouse is having a bad day, or they're just not feeling well today, but they can't really explain why they don't feel well, maybe they're just tired. You know what? Rub their back. Just show them a little support, or just say, baby, I'm sorry you're not feeling good today. Because I'm sorry, y'all, sometimes we are just so desensitized and we don't reach back to our spouse to show that support, because we've let life just make us pass by in the night, and we don't really pay attention to one another. So sometimes we need to just remember to show each other that support.
Right. And don't forget to let that person know, which I'm referring to as the communication piece. Let them know what you want to do. Let them know your ideas so they can support you. Because if you just spring it on them and you just say, I'm going to do this. Like, for example, I'm going to run in the pen relays 55 and over. What? Wait a minute. You ain't even training. I have been saying that.
You're right. You have not been training.
But you haven't been training. So she would still say, baby, I think you could do it. Maybe if you get out there and train, at least I know she has my back. But if you haven't trained, then what? You still think you can do it? You still think you have that confidence? You probably can. You may come in last, but you still have that confidence, then you can do it. As long as they're there to support you, to bring up that, like I said, that communication piece, to let them know your ideas.
Yes. So wait.
I was going to say, trust me, because if you let them know your ideas, what you're thinking, what you may want to accomplish, your spouse not only will be your biggest cheerleader, they may give you some fresh ideas to help you accomplish what you want to accomplish.
Yeah, because I like to see him running that 55 and over.
I used to run track.
I understand that you don't run track now. So I'd like to see you train and run in a 55 and over relay. Oh my God. Oh, baby, you'd be so fit if you got out there and started training and running. Oh my Lord.
See, here she go, encouraging me.
You'd be foxy and fine. Oh, you're already foxy and fine. But I mean, you would trim down and slim down, and oh my goodness, I could just imagine. You'd be like that guy back when I first met you, when you was all slim and
in my 20s.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
Okay, but anyway, you guys. So number 5 is let go of the fairy tale. You guys, so many of us have so many unrealistic expectations of our mate. We want them to rub our feet every day. We want them to cook our dinner every day. We want them to say all these positive things to us all day, every day. Yes, we should do some of those things, but sometimes we have such big expectations of our spouse that they can't even begin to meet them. And then we're disappointed when they don't do it.
That's what I was going to say. Expectations lead to disappointments. Because
unmet expectations.
Right, because if you have an expectation and you never expressed it to that person and they never met it, those expectations, you become disappointed. But listen, you never told them what your expectations are. People enter into relationships, enter into marriage, and they never talk about what they expect. When you think about it for a minute, when you're dating and then you become engaged, now you're getting ready to get married. Have you talked to your fiance about what you expect when you get married? What you expect when you tie that knot? Because if you don't and just assume that it's going to happen, assume that you have these expectations that will be met and they're not, then you become disappointed. Now you're looking at like, well, this marriage ain't like I thought it would be, because you had expectations that you never expressed. And now you're disappointed because those expectations weren't met.
Mm-hmm. So talk about it, you guys.
You have
if
to.
There is, you know what? If there is something that you wish your spouse would do for you, that you desire your spouse to do for you, that you think about all the time, I wish my spouse would do this. Okay, if it's realistic, or even if you think it's a little bit of a reach, at least talk to them about it. Or ask them. You just never know.
Or say, here's what I was thinking. You know what I'd like to see, or you know what I would like to happen? I would like this.
Mm-hmm.
Just say how you feel, what you would like. Don't say, well, I expect you to do this. I expect my dinner.
I need you to do this.
Right. I expect my dinner to be on the table every night. No, it would be nice if we ate together at least 2 or 3 times a week.
Right.
That would be nice.
Oh, baby, it would be nice if when you drive my car, you would fill the tank up
put
for
gas
me.
in it.
Yeah.
Instead of just coming out saying, why you drive my car and ain't put no gas in it? Come on. Now you're putting that other person on the defensive, and it could turn into not only a disagreement, but an argument, because now you have that person.
It will.
Because now you have that person on defensive because you're attacking that person.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about, what will be nice. Talk about, I feel if we did this, it would help our marriage.
Oh, baby, I would love for you to do such and such and
exactly.
such with me.
Or, do you think we could try this together?
Y'all know, I hear women say, especially, I've never really heard a man say it, but I hear women say, especially, he should know what I want. We've been together all this time.
We're not mind readers.
But if you've never told him, if you've never expressed what you really want, what you really like, just because he see you wear designer doesn't mean that he knows that you expect him to buy you a designer bag. He may just buy you a bag. But you never say, babe, I really prefer bags by Gucci, or right. I really prefer, I told James I like Coach bags.
And that was an expectation that you had, designer bag, that you never expressed. And he bought you another bag, and now you're mad, you're disappointed. You bought me this, you think it's cheap, because you never expressed to him what you expected or what you prefer. A lot of times it comes from a preference. Here's what I prefer. Like right, that's true, I could prefer dinner on the table Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 4 nights. I could prefer that. Or do you expect that? And then you come home, wait a minute, where's my dinner? This Tuesday. My dinner should be on the table. I expect that. But no, you prefer that. Baby, here's what I prefer. Then when you talk about your preference, that could lead to maybe what you expect. Because now the two of you are talking about your preference, and then they can say, well, do you expect that?
And sometimes expectations doesn't always have to be bad, because this morning I did not feel like cooking breakfast. I really didn't. I was in the mode of cleaning the house. Y'all, I done moved all the furniture off of the floor onto the rug. I mean, every little piece out of every area of the common area, so that I could sweep and then mop the floors, right? And so I didn't want to cook breakfast, but I knew James was out there in the yard, and I thought to myself, when he come here, he's going to be looking for breakfast. I think I didn't think of the word expect, but he was probably expecting breakfast when he came back in the house, right? So I could have, and this is going to be part of number 6, I could have resented him thinking or expecting me to cook breakfast. But you know what? I went ahead and put breakfast on. But what I did do was, when he came in, I asked him, could he make the eggs? Because he make the best fried eggs, y'all. He makes my eggs perfect every single time. I kid you not. So I believe
that 6, she can do it. She can make the eggs like she wants them. That's what I believe.
So number 6 is release resentment. So I could have resented the fact that he just expect me to cook all the time, because I cook dinner almost every day of the week. And so sometimes I just expect him to cook breakfast. So yeah, I had y'all, that's true. I had an expectation for him to get up and cook breakfast this morning. So when I saw him tying his little scarf around his head, I'm like, what are you getting ready to do? I thought you would have been cooking breakfast. Don't you want breakfast? He's like, yeah, I want breakfast. Don't you hear my stomach growling? So I'm like, you expecting me to cook breakfast, and I'm expecting you to cook breakfast. So who's cooking breakfast? Well, he went on outside. Well, because I was hungry and because I knew his stomach was growling, I went ahead and cooked breakfast for my hubby. but I could have harbored some resentment. So number 6 is release resentment. Just because your spouse has an expectation of you, or they're disappointed because you didn't do something, or you're disappointed because they didn't do something, don't walk around harboring resentment.
Because it looks like you're resenting the fact that it was something that they didn't do that you wanted them to do, but you never actually talked about it. Mm-hmm. So now you resent that person because you expected that. But did you ever fully talk about it? Did you ever have that conversation about, okay, who's going to cook breakfast, or what are we going to do? Or are we going to go at this time? Even if you're going somewhere and you don't want to be late, should we leave at this time? Or do you just expect it to leave early? And then when the person's not ready, you resent them from not being ready on time. Mm-hmm. But you didn't talk about what time you needed to leave to get to the event on time. You hear what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because you could say that, to get to this point, we need to leave 15 minutes earlier, but you never said that. So now when 15 minutes are coming, that person is still getting ready. Now you resent them because you feel you're going to be late, but you never express it, and you harbor that resentment. Talking about us. You harbor that resentment toward them from not being ready when you never told them the time you felt you needed to leave.
Y'all, and that's so true. And in the beginning stages of our marriage, James used to be pacing the floor. He would be fussing. Come on. Not just at
never
me, but
ready
at the
on
kids
time
too, right? And he's like, come on, why aren't y'all ready? We need to be there by such and such time. But what I didn't know at the time is that James likes to be 15 minutes early.
Not 15, that's too early.
No, he has us 15 to 20 minutes early, sometimes 30 minutes early, but at least 10 minutes early. Because what's your motto about being on time?
If you're 10 minutes early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late.
Yes.
And that's from the military.
So anyway, it wasn't until he told me I like to get there a few minutes early. I don't want to get there
number
on
one,
time.
You never know how traffic is going to be. In this DMV area, traffic can be horrible sometimes. To me, there's always an accident because in this DMV area, people don't know how to drive, and there's an accident every day out there. So in this area, I feel you need to leave a little earlier in case there's traffic, in case there's an accident.
It's not even about that all the time. Sometimes you just want the front row seat, or you don't want to be in the back.
But when you get there early, you can sit where you want.
Okay.
You have your preference. That's another thing about being there a little bit early. Sometimes you have a better choice. If you go to a buffet and you get there a little early when they first put out the food.
I don't do those anymore.
I'm just saying, this is hypothetical. And they first put it out. You have your choice of what you want the buffet, and everything is fresh.
If I'm going to do buffet, I want to be first in line.
See? Yeah. So why not have that attitude being first in everything you do? Why not being first whenever you leave to go to any event, you get there on time. Then you have your choice of seating. You have your choice of some of the things that apply to the people coming to the event, and you get your first choice.
He likes to go first, y'all. We can be anywhere, and they'll ask for volunteers. I'll go. I'll do it. I'll go first. If we're doing a speech somewhere, I'll go first. If in choir, if they say we need somebody to sing this note, I'll go first. I mean, like he loves to volunteer to go first. But if we're picking teams, I'll go first.
And I believe,
what is that all about?
I believe going first has its advantage. That's just me. Like in playing chess, the white moves first. So I like to play the white because I always feel going first, you have the upper hand, because then you don't have to follow anybody. Because just think, if you don't go first and a person does really well, now you have to live up to that expectation of that person went first. But if you go first, you set the tone. See, I believe that you should be the thermostat and not the thermometer. And what am I saying? The thermostat sets the temperature in the room. The thermometer takes the temperature. So you need to be the thermostat. You need to set the temperature in the room. You need to set the tone. Let everybody feed off of you. You need to be the tone setter. Come on, somebody. You need to be the one that everybody is looking at like, wow, I got to live up to that person, or I got to meet that person's expectation, because you set the tone.
Oh my God. Look, my cousin Donald is watching, right? And Donald says, James is my spirit animal. He said, I actually tell people that when I am coaching. He says, James, I'm prior military as well. Well, I'm 30 minutes early to everything.
Come on.
And everything. So, okay.
And just think, Donald, you're setting the tone. You know, you done got there early. You get to choose the seating. Now everybody wants to do what you did. See, that's another reason of going first and getting there early, because now everybody wants to do what you did. Let me give you a quick example. I remember we went to audition for Family Feud, right? So when the producer came in for Family Feud, she said, fill out this application, take them up to the table, and turn them upside down. I wanted to be first. Cynthia was filling out. I said, hurry up. We need to be first. So she hurry up and filled it out. So we went in and turned it upside down. We were like first or second. So I grabbed the mic. I started yelling at the crowd, welcome to Family Feud, everybody, all right? And everybody started getting all hyped. Everybody started getting excited. And what happened? The next person that came up tried to do the same thing that I did.
And didn't have the same effect.
Because I set the tone. And then the third person tried to do it. And the producer came in the room and said, give me that microphone and go sit down somewhere. I said, see, everyone can't do what you do when you're first, when you set the tone.
Right.
And being first, it allowed us to set the tone for Family Feud. We were ended up being on the news because they were only taping the first two couples, and we were one of the first ones. See,
families.
One of the first families. There's a lot of things, a lot of advantages to going first and setting the tone and being that one that's there early that everybody can feed off of.
And that's very true sometimes. Okay. So you guys, we gave you six things. Oh, let me bring it back up. Where'd it go? 6 things on to help you be a confident couple. And so number 6 was release resentment.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5 was let go in the fairy tale.
Right.
Number 4 was showing support to each other.
And the individual, right?
Number 3 was making sure you pursue your own personal passions. And then number 2 was cultivating common interests.
Yep. Doing
and
things
number
together.
1 was share secrets with each other. So you guys, it all goes back to communicating. None of those things can you do unless you're communicating.
Right.
You know, if you want to pursue your personal passion or do something by yourself, you know what? Just tell your spouse, babe, I'm going to take a bubble bath. Like, I believe in self-care. So during COVID, every Sunday was my day to get in the tub and do a bubble bath. Well, now.
And that's her self.
Now
that was
that we
her
go to church
self-care.
on Sunday mornings, I don't have time to lay in the bathtub before church. So I try to do it maybe on Saturday or a weekday. But anyway, you guys, so we gave you some tips. This is all about becoming a more confident couple together, creating that we-ness, being on one accord. Because when you're in that mode, you're not going to be arguing and fighting all the time. You're not going to harbor resentment.
Nope.
You're going to be enjoying life. You're going to be enjoying each other. You're going to be moving forward in life. So we want to invite you guys, if you want to get some more information about being a confident couple, to come to our our free online virtual summit that is June 10th and 11th. Guys, go ahead and get registered. It's on our website, marriagebuilttolast.com. If you just go to the website, it's right there. It says Couples Virtual Summit, or go to marriagebuilttolast.com/summit and get registered. There's no cost to you, but we're going to have some different speakers that is going to give you guys some great information.
See, and that's the key, is getting information, getting help and being who God wanted the two of you to be. Because like we always say, that you're together for a purpose. Maybe it's discovering what that purpose is. Maybe it's doing things together that helps you get to that. But the only way to do that is to use the tips that say, some we suggested, some that our speakers are going to be suggesting. Because there's always tools and tips out there to help you be one together, to help you be that confident couple, and that confident couple is trusting each other, having the ability in each other, trusting each other, having faith in each other, having each other's back.
Yeah. Cheering each other on,
right. Cheering each other
on
and supporting one another. And you do that by communicating where you're going and what you want to do.
And you're going to hear some other couples sharing how they do that.
How they did it. Exactly.
Yeah, how they do it, how they did it. So make sure you are joining us. Let me put that in the chat.
Because you done heard how we've done some things, and there's things we've done that helped us to grow together and be that confident couple, and all it takes is talking. All it takes is
Mhm.
communication.
Yep.
You know, making sure you share with each other. And that was one of them, share with each other so the other person don't resent you,
And
so you can be on the same page.
And a lot of times when we say all it takes is talking, it takes communicating. And some couple, we spoke at a conference recently, last Friday, as a matter of fact, and someone know, how do you communicate? How do you start talking if you've bridged this gap and you're on one side of the room and she's on the other side of the room and you don't know how to come together to communicate? Come to the Confident Couple and we're going to tell you how to do it.
That's right.
We're going to give you some tried and true tips to help you know how to become a stronger we and a more confident couple together and become one.
Right. And we believe that if you do that, if you become that more confident couple and you come together, it'll enhance your relationship or your marriage. Mm-hmm. It'll allow you to be to that place where you want to be as a couple. You know, and that's what everybody wants. Everybody knows when they come together as a couple, you know, they have, say, expectations of where you want to be. And sometimes they're not met. But to become that confident couple, if you use all the tips and tools that people talk about, that we're going to be talking about and other couples talking about, it'll help you get there.
That's right.
It'll help you have that healthy, happy relationship.
All right. So come on. And if you are a confident couple, come on to the show. We might bring you up on the stage and let you share how you became a confident couple. Because we believe
that you overcome by your testimony. And we always believe in sharing testimonies. So if you were in a place where you might have been struggling and now you feel you're a stronger we and you're that confident couple, we may bring you up and say, okay, tell us about you. Where were you and how did you get to where you are now?
And also, you guys, during the Confident Couple show that Friday night, we're going to have the authors who are in our book anthology. They're going to be sharing a little bit of their story of what they went through in their marriage when they were struggling, how they got on the other side, and now how they are a confident couple.
See?
And the things they're doing, the things they did to build that confidence and what they do to stay there. And that's so, and I want to say this real quick too. We still have a couple of slots for authors in our book. So if you know you've got a strong marriage,
and you've been through some things,
we all been through something, yeah.
Sure.
But if you know you have a strong marriage and you have a story to share, reach out to us. We would love to consider you for the book. We'll give you a quick interview, doesn't take but 10 minutes, and give you some additional information to help you make a wise decision, because we are looking for strategic couples with specific stories to share to be a part of this project.
Because we truly believe that, you know, couples, iron sharpens iron. Couples who've been through some things and came out of it on the winning side should help other couples.
That's right.
Because you never know. Telling your story may help another couple who may be going through the similar thing or the exact same thing that you've been through. And they need you to talk to them on how did you get through it? Because we're in the middle of it now and we don't know how to get through it. And maybe your story on how you got through it helps them to get through it.
Right. So thank you guys for joining us this morning. We're always happy to see you. We'll be back next Saturday. It'll be a new month, June. Our theme in June is confident couple. So
be first. No, let me stop.
So we are going to be sharing you some of the stories from the Confident Couple show. We're going to be sharing with you some other tips on becoming confident. And we're just going to be talking about some great things you can do this summer. You know, just be prepared. We've got a great lineup for you coming up in June. So remember, if you build it, it will last. God bless you guys.
And we'll see you next time.
All right. Enjoy this beautiful weather, y'all. Oops.